defined outer and inner rim, the latter of which occurs alongside a tall dome structure within its 79-meter or 259-foot wide crater. But wait, I hear the geologists in my audience shout, this is clearly just an isolated cinder cone. While I must admit that Patomskiy Crater is similar in size cinder cone to some smaller end cinder cones, there is one major problem with this theory. Cinder cones, for reference, are composed out of both ash and small ejected vesicular lava fragments termed cinders and ash, often containing multiple million cubic meters of these igneous rock units. Patomskiy Crater, on the other hand, is not composed of any lava rocks or ash, or even igneous rocks of any kind. Instead, it is composed of 300,000 cubic meters of a 600-million-year-old sedimentary rock limestone and gas emissions type known as limestone. And this exists alongside occasional fragments of sandstone and schists which likely originated more than 500 meters below ground. So clearly something must have happened to cause such a deep rock unit even in minor amounts to end up on the surface. While Patomskiy Crater has been frequently reported to have been discovered in 1949, the truth is that indigenous peoples to the region knew of it long beforehand. They discuss the area as full of evil spirits which should be avoided at all costs, which leads me to believe that after the crater formed it somehow caused some form of harm when a person traversed the area to investigate, perhaps due to lingering gas emissions. While some models suggest that Patomskiy Crater formed in two events around 1450 and between 1841 and 1842, others suggest it formed in a single event around the year 1700. So, what are the existing hypotheses on how Patomskiy Crater formed? The first hypothesis, which meteorite impact scientists came up and which we can immediate discount, suggests that a very dense iron meteorite struck the area and got buried 100 or 200 meters beneath the crater. This can be disproven by the fact that rocks underlying the crater are less, not more dense, a lack of magnetic anomalies, and the general fact that small-scale meteorites do not form craters that look like Patomskiy Crater. The second hypothesis suggests that Patomskiy Crater is a mud volcano, but this also runs into a few obvious problems. Signs of mud and mud volcanism are nowhere to be found, and as one expert I mud volcano asked told me, mud volcanoes don't tend to occur in isolation as they generally occur in clusters. And yet, Patomskiy Crater is truly an isolated feature. The third hypothesis is that Patomskiy hydrothermal explosion crater is actually a cryovolcano which formed via an explosion and natural gas released by thawing permafrost. While this theory is plausible as it would explain the elevated levels of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide found in the emplaced limestone, this doesn't seem to work because the permafrost is still continuous in this part of Russia today. The fourth hypothesis suggests that a hydrothermal explosion occurred here due to a drop in pressure on a natural and non-volcanic fault-related hot spring. The problem is, no evidence of a hot spring which could have triggered this has been found. Another possibility is that there were no explosions at Patomskiy Crater, and that